Hello and welcome to this Let's Play of Slay the Princess. This might not be very child-friendly content as the title suggests, so be warned. It's also not my usual type of content. I mostly do guides and mostly for Robocraft. But I always wanted to do Let's Plays. I've tried a few times before, for Oxygen not included, and for Kenshi. Problem was, they're kind of sandbox titles where a playthrough can last for hundreds of hours. So and there's also kind of a lot of dead time where not a lot is happening. So I had a hard time to kind of make it good and interesting. And also I kind of lost motivation around episode 3 or 4. Because I guess it's the nature of Let's Plays, but viewership kind of drops after the first episode. And by episode 4 or 5 I didn't have that many viewers. But it won't happen now, because I found the perfect title to do a Let's Play about. Slay the Princess! It's short, so that's good. I hopefully can finish it before I lose motivation. It also has kind of a clear beginning and an end. At least I think it does. I haven't played to the end yet, but I think it has an end. So my plan is kind of to sprinkle this in between my normal Robocraft 2 content. And if it does well, that means like a lot of people actually enjoy watching it, I can do similar stuff with other indie titles, kind of other short indie games. It is a lot of spoilers, obviously. It's a Let's Play. I played from the beginning to the end, that's the plan. But the first episode is kind of spoiler free. It doesn't really give away that much. So if you are thinking about getting this game for yourself, you can watch the first episode. That will kind of show you what the game is about and how it plays, but still leave a lot left to be discovered. And with that out of the way, let's get started. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Chapter 1. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, I guess these are the options we got. The end of the world. What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad thought, doesn't it? Yeah, it kind of does. We can ask if someone else can do it. We can kind of refuse to do it. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? I don't really feel that answer is good. Do I get some reward for doing this? I don't want a reward either. I'm not evil. Oh, okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet, I always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la revolution! I'm not that into beheading monarchs. I'm not from France. Sorry, French. Silently continue to the cabin. Turn around and leave. I kind of like this option to see what happens if we do that. But first let's inquire a bit about the situation. The end of the world. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But how can a princess locked away in a basement end the world? That's a reasonable question. If you don't tell me why she's dangerous, I'm not going to kill her. Also reasonable. And we can ask if they have any evidence. And, well, this seems kind of like the ones we had on the previous one, right? Yeah, let's inquire further. But how can a princess locked away in a basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done.
He's not answering the question. He's not answering the question at all. I want evidence. I will take this. Do you have any evidence?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Well, that's not evidence, is it? It just tells us that we're on the path. For all we know, the narrator might be the one who put us there. I think I will just take this one. Turn around and leave. We'll have nothing of it.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
No, but not to the cabin. Okay, fine. You're persistent. I'll go to the cabin and I will slay the princess. No, I won't do that. This is also go to the cabin. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin. I'm not going to the cabin. I like this one. What else do we have? I'm okay with the world ending. No, not really. Continue down the path away from the cabin. So this one is leaving the cabin. And this one. I like this one. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it.
Voice of the hero, is that a second narrator or is that us?
Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Kind of a second narrator, I guess.
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin.
Of course.
How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Right, 2 choices. Okay, I'm going into the cabin. Jeez. Turn around again and leave again. Yeah, that's what we will do.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Yeah, but you also provided 0 evidence of that, so... I don't care, I'm not going to kill a princess. Good, maybe everyone should die. It's what they get for dumping me in the woods and asking me to kill someone for them. It's kind of evil to dump someone in the wood and asking them to kill someone. I agree with that. You are not emotionally blackmailing me into doing this. Quietly continue down the path. I guess this one is leaving and this one is leaving, so let's take this one.
Your silence is deafening. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Yep.
Oh, would you look at that? You're
Go
at
figure.
the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Of course it does. There is no fighting this, is there? I have to go into the cabin, don't I? Fine. Oh yeah? Well, I guess I'll start walking in a different direction again. In fact, I'm going to just keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place. Yeah, that's what I will do. I decided I will walk away from the cabin, so at least I will try, even though I kind of suspect it will just loop me back here again.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who has ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
Okay.
And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen.
I guess that's the cabin.
At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves.
Yeah.
But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light.
Many cabins.
In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
So we don't have a choice.
Wait, what's going on? You're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
I don't know it's certain death.
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Alright, guess the narrator was correct, and the game ended, or what will happen now? Let's click it. Chapter 2. The Stranger, so it's not the end though.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Deja vu. I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu. Yes, I do. Wait, hasn't this happened already? Okay, no. You aren't kidding. She actually ended the world last time, didn't she? What the hell is she? Oh, you bastard. You're in for it now. I'm wise to your tricks. But I died. The whole world ended. What am I doing here? Those wolves? Wolves? Oh, these ones. Those wolves weren't here last time. You can't just force me to go to the cabin. Yep, okay. Heading to the cabin now, where I'm definitely going to slay the princess. Yeah, I get it. I'm going to the cabin. And silently proceed to the cabin. I think I need a coffee. I need a coffee and then we'll continue this.